This is the dimension of unbelievability. It is an area which we call the Frauditor Zone. In today's episode, we find David from Good Guy Audits attempting to fraud-explain to an officer, but shut down at every turn. Hello everyone. Today we have a frauditor who is somewhere doing something to get the police called. That's because he's another frauditor to start his video only after the police arrive. Imagine a journalist that's at the scene of an event and doesn't turn on his camera until the police arrive, and even then gives no information about what happened to have the police called. Would you consider this person a journalist? Of course not. And now I have given one of many reasons why these frauditards are not journalists any more than Cupcake the teddy bear is. Hey, what did I do? Oh, sorry, Cupcake. I was just trying to prove a point. Anyway, so the reason I chose this video is I love the way the officer handled David. Hopefully, we'll be seeing more of this in the future.
2, 3, 4. We meet again. Can I get your name and badge number?
That's right.
How do you spell that?
R-A-D, right?
How do you pronounce it? Radoyan?
Yeah.
267?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Recorded again, just so you know.
Oh, thank you. It should always be on. This is crazy. Is this a wealthy neighborhood? It seems pretty wealthy, at least middle class. At least
I guess.
the houses look really nice.
Yeah.
Is this like a middle class, upper class?
I'd say a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say lower class,
No.
especially with your response time. You know. So did they call you guys here?
Yes.
Can I get the call number, please?
For what?
For this, you got a call to service, right?
Phone number?
Did you receive a call to service? Is that why you're here?
Yeah.
Can I get that number?
Yeah, you can get it through our records.
You don't have it on your screen?
I can't give it to you.
Why not?
It's private information.
It's actually not private information. It's public. It's public information.
Official request to our records, and then you get it.
I wouldn't know what number it is to request it.
Yeah, you can ask them at this address, 1365 Inwood Terrace, if there was a call there.
How long you been on the force?
17 years.
You see what officer, you see what I was talking about, right? Earlier, the discussion that we had? That the longer cops are on the force, they build that, you know, like that ego, that machismo, like, and they forget why they took the job in the first place. Remember I was telling you don't lose your way? It seems like you have, because I asked you your name and you said right here. Knowing damn well when you go to the court and the judge asks you, what's your name? State your name for the record. You're not going to say right here.
It seems that David is yet another frauditard making a good point for the wrong reason. Of course, if a judge asked him for his name, he would not say right here. But how is that comparable to this situation? Are frauditards now thinking that they're a judge? Well, I guess if you live in a fantasy world, you could be just about anything you want to be.
Right? So I'm your boss. I pay your salary. Yeah, but I pay your salary. So where's the professionalism? You have a sticker on
my own salary also.
No, you don't.
Different spirit.
No, you don't.
Taxpayer just like you.
No, you don't.
Sure.
No, you don't.
So, if the officer's tax dollars don't go towards his salary, what are they used for? Is there someone somewhere in an office that's in charge of delegating where tax dollars go, that has a list of all officers and then ensures that their tax dollars don't go towards the police departments that they work for? If so, where did they go? Oh, David, this is why I coined the term frauditard. But you probably don't understand that either, so we'll just keep moving on.
You have a sticker on your car that says courtesy, professionalism, and respect.
Where am I not being either of those?
You're being rude. You're not stating your name. You're like, what if I couldn't read? What if I was illiterate? What if I was legally blind and I couldn't see?
Don't frauditards also claim that their cameras are no different than their eyes? So consider your camera as a sort of seeing eye camera, and that solves the problem about being legally blind. Now for the illiterate part, if you are illiterate at this point in your life, you have so many more problems than not being able to read an officer's name tag. That is the last thing you should be worrying about right now.
Right?
I find that hard to
Walking
around town.
That's the courtesy part. But you just never know.
You're right.
Right? That's what we was talking about earlier. You never know who or what you're going to come across. I can have a fucking learning disability.
Sure, but I use my training experience as a police officer to understand.
But where's the courtesy at? This is my name, just in case you can't read, you know? Just in case you're illiterate.
You have it on video.
There are two things that come to mind right now. The first is that you can't change anyone but yourself. The second is lead by example. So I would love it if just one frauditard got a job as a police officer. Then they could show us how to be courteous the way they think it should be and lead by example. Here is another thing that comes to mind. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Standing there berating a police officer on how you think he should act while doing nothing to try to make any real change is not doing anything to be part of the solution.
But you're not proud of your name and what you do for a living? So what was so hard? And you look, your name is mad hard to say anyways. How do you say it?
What's your name?
I don't give out my name.
Okay, so then I'm not gonna give out mine.
But I don't work for the public. I didn't take an oath to the public.
Mine's visible and proudly visible.
But how do you say it? So you've been on the for 17 years, and at this point it seems like it's fuck the public, right? You just want to make it home safe, right? Working in a neighborhood like this, most likely you're gonna make it home safe, right? So why you come at me with that ego? Yeah, right. My name is right here. You don't see nothing wrong with that, and you're a sergeant? A lieutenant? Wow. And you don't see nothing wrong with telling the public, yeah, right here. Imagine, these guys are young, right? Very professional. Hey, what's your name? This is my name. This is my badge number. They didn't say that. They actually said their name and badge number. With professionalism.
If you rewind, I actually said my name when we first got here.
It took you a while. It's like,
No, I didn't.
I had to like.
The first thing I said.
No.
You asked me 2 other questions. And
The
I said
first.
it's right here.
No, the first thing you said was right here. It's on tape.
Rewind it, that's fine.
I'm having this conversation with you because I don't want you to lose your way.
I'll lose it anyway.
I don't want you to forget why did you join the force?
Because that's not for a conversation, right?
I mean, you stopped. You want to have a conversation with me, right?
I just said hello to you, right? The first thing
Yeah.
I said
So
to
now
you,
I'm asking you a question.
stuck
I'm
your
your.
camera in my car and said, oh, you keep your car nice
You,
and clean,
that's
right?
your car?
It's my vehicle.
Oh.
I'm driving
No,
it.
that's the public's vehicle.
It's my vehicle while I'm driving.
I guess
My
you could say
office,
that.
Right? It's my office.
But ultimately, whose car is that?
The borough of Fort Lee.
The people, right?
The borough of Fort Lee.
The people that pay for it. Okay.
Are you
Right
a
now,
resident-
while
are you
you
a resident of town?
right now while you work here, it's your car. You're borrowing it.
That's what I said.
You're utilizing it for your job,
Exactly what I said.
right?
I mean,
But you know it's the people's car. You know that. You know it's the people's car. So I was wondering, what made you want to become a police officer? You seem like a smart man. I'm sure your options are wide.
Here to help everyone.
Yeah. What's the most important thing about your job?
Keeping it.
Doesn't seem like you're gonna keep it with an attitude like that.
Like it got me this far.
Just remain professional. Remember the oath you took.
That's what I'm doing.
That oath is the most.
Resident of town or no?
I don't answer questions, but that oath you took is the most important thing in your job.
Have a good day.
Who went inside? Did you go inside? Educate them.
Yes, sir. He's good. Have a good day.
Listen. Remember what I told you. Follow your heart.
Good day.
Not every leader's a good leader. Remember your oaths, Lieutenant. The Constitution is the most important part of your job. Not making it home.
Yet another frauditard statement. If the officer doesn't make it home, how is he going to protect the Constitution? I wonder how frauditards would respond to this scenario that I'm coming up with. Imagine we're in a park. On one side, there's a Frauditor filming, but a park employee is telling him that he isn't allowed to film in the public park. At the same time, someone trips and is bleeding from their head. There's an officer that's currently in the park, and both people call the officer over for assistance. Who should the officer respond to first? The Frauditor to protect his First Amendment right to film in public, or the person that is bleeding but having no rights violated? Sad to say, I truly believe that most frauditors would say that the officer should go help the man filming and call for EMS and hope for the best that this person doesn't bleed out before EMS arrives.
Sad. It's just sad.
Yes, it really is sad that frauditing is a real thing that seems to be getting worse and worse by the day. Sad, so sad. For today's Frauditor Fatigue Cooldown segment, we need a desperate dose of cuteness intelligence, so upon request, I present to you dolphins.